Hello everybody, I'm Raphael Perry and it's time for some more Tainted Grail, because I've been itching to play this game a lot recently, and there's been a lot of times when I've been recording other games I've been wanting to play this. And now that I'm just sort of edging into blind territory and out of early access knowledge, at this point I'm playing completely blind. I want to play some more, so I'm hoping that if I go through this little experiment that I'm going to call the Week of Tainted Grail, which basically means playing this every day I want to, until it's time for the next Way of the Tiger episode, which I'll record on Sunday night, then hopefully I'll have sort of binged out on this enough to then be able to take a step back and enjoy the other games without missing this so much. That is the plan. Now, I did say as much as I want to, right? So this is Tuesday night. So we got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday night recording. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday's videos, Tainted Grail. But I did, and then Monday's video would be back to Way of the Tiger as usual, and then obviously the other game, or so, you know, then Monomyth and Evil Island would be reinstated. So they're just skipping a week, right? This isn't a long-term thing. But I did say as much as I want to. So if I tire of it earlier and feel ready to go record the other stuff, or if I feel if I feel able to record multiple videos in a night, then sure, I'll do all that. I will very soon probably be doing a video about an old game book called Vengeance. It's not that old, but it's oldish. There are two different versions of the game book, the first edition and second edition. There are significant differences. Each has their own merits. And I fancy featuring it on the channel at some point, but I'm not sure which version to do. I mean, I'm leaning heavily towards the first edition, but I might do both or something weird, right? So, since some people might not want to sit through that discussion at the start of a playthrough, I might turn that into a separate video and talk about it and put that up at some point as a bonus video in the next few days. Now we're headed towards the temple to meet with the current incarnation or version of Sir Galahad, who has indicated that the only way to become a knight at the moment is to plunder the tomb of a former knight and steal his identity. And he has told me to meet him here at the temple, apparently right up here in the middle actually, so that we can deal with the invaders and the betrayer. This feels odd. Surely I should meet with him outside. And we should go in together. Because I doubt they'll simply let him walk in. Are we supposed to stand in the middle, then he comes from the edge? I don't know. What I do know is it's likely to be very violent. So, am I happy with that? I've probably got something. Okay, 25. We can stick that on there. Right. And I'm going to say it now. I know exactly what the episode title is going to be, and I'm probably going to say it at some point. So, might as well get it out of the way now. It's time to set the cat among the pigeons. Now, it's possible him and his soldiers have come in already and fought their way through and cleared out this area, which would explain why the quest marker is at the back of the area. I'm seeing flames burning outside, looks like dead bodies. It would appear that grim judgment has already been exacted, and I'm getting a little bit of lag as things are still, loading in. I don't think I'm supposed to recognise any of these charred remains. Quirko's desperately playing with fire there. Let's not encourage that. There has definitely been great violence done here. I would imagine all named individuals, yeah. Well, these bodies will still be here. The soothsayer appears to be missing. Oh no, there he is. Right, how are we doing for... We are nearing our limit, so let's not overburden ourselves. Now, this was a tricky decision to make. Because in many regards, this was painted in such a way as to help us be sympathetic towards the Dalriata. And this version of Galahad was painted in a rather unfavourable light up until the point where we met him, where he almost proved to be reasonable. And we are getting so much lag here. Right. It's not all over yet. Right. Just keep getting practice in. Yes, you lot. Ooh. Hang on. Are they trying to hit me as well? Oh shit, I've hit someone by mistake, haven't I? I can't tell. I cannot actually tell. I can't tell if I hit someone wrong, so... Oh well. We'll go in and try again. Interestingly then, the berserkers don't seem to use stamina. Even my attacks that deplete stamina do not deplete it. Right. Well then. Wait. There we go. Although, since those assets will have sort of loaded and be in game memory already, there'll hopefully be less lag as I approach here now. As in, they'll be in recent memory and can be easily retrieved. It's odd how things work sometimes. So I'm wanting to loot these bodies immediately while they are recognizable, so that I know... Ooh, that's interesting. I was forced to put away Mason's shield and take in the scene of destruction that lies before me. Well, let us continue on through the grim carcasses, the wet work of the warriors. The sword sweat is heavy here. Yeah, now there's a kenning. Right. So we want to be cautious and avoid the soldiers. What? Fuck off! Seriously, fuck off! I did not hit your friend! Seriously. Walked close to him, maybe. Struck his enemy twice. Maybe 3 times. That was it. Fucking hell. So am I not allowed to participate at all? Am I essentially supposed to watch the warriors be defeated and then finish off what's left? I mean, I can do that, but it would be nice to help them out. Seems something is being overly sensitive. Especially that bloody archer deciding I'm a foe when I... What? Is it because I let one of his 2 friends be killed by the guy? No, it can't be that. Now, with the distance fading, am I supposed to do one small berserker encounter at a time? That could make a lot of sense, actually. If hanging back and watching means that the ones at the back don't fight yet, and the warriors they're fighting don't fight either, so I move from one encounter to another, right? Of course, something had to go horribly wrong twice. Is it this big, spiky, nasty, evil armour I'm wearing that makes me look like an evil cunt? Quite possibly. It would also be interesting if the hostility is faction-wide or specific to individuals and individual groups, right? So... Nope, I've triggered the fighting back there. Wait, desperate isn't Galahad's interesting. Easy there, Quirko. We may be under attack from an ally very soon.
I've had worse.
Right. And down you go, pal. Ooh. Let's continue on. So I think this is how I'm supposed to... Oh shit, 3 of them? Yeah, see, that's a problem. Fucking hell, the damage is virtually non-existent. Okay. Let's continue on, as there may be others around, although they don't seem to be. I suspect we must now go inside. So, let's just leave it at that. So my gut feeling would be the main group came rushed in and some stayed outside to fight the warriors who were still outside. Are we happy with our current selection of potions and other things? Possibly. Okay. 72 is bigger than 25%. Sure, we'll go with a few of those for a bit. Alright. More carnage awaits, I imagine. And then there'll be a lot of looting afterwards. Looks like it's already
You've
happened.
exceeded expectations. Well, who'd have thought a nobody from nowhere would prove so useful? This had to be done. The Dalrita weren't just rebels. They were a disease, threatening everything we've built. And taking down Breadan, that was a personal pleasure. The man was a heretic, a fool, forgot his place.
I think I should press upon him the fact that Brendan acted alone and didn't involve his other men in this. What do you mean?
Well, the less you know, the better you'll sleep. Brandon and his lackeys stumbled onto something. A place that should never see the light of day. They wanted to expose it. Heresy, plain and simple. King Arthur gave everything to secure Avalon's peace. To reveal such places would spit on his memory and open the gates to chaos. And we can't have that during the war. War is about control, and preventing heresy is how we maintain it.
I think I know the place that was mentioned. Why would Brandon want to reveal it?
Because he was an idiot, blinded by desperation. He thought exposing it would shake the South, destroy morale, and somehow help his cause. Instead, he only doomed himself and his people. And for what? To align himself with savages? To play at power he couldn't grasp? The man was beyond redemption.
This may be a risky question to ask, but what manner of place?
Let's not test my patience. I've told you more than you need to know.
Of course.
Whatever it is, it stays buried. End of story.
It may be that that's all he knows. What happens now?
Now, I'll leave this fish-sticking dump behind and return to Camelot. There's work to be done, and One Eye's revolt was just a symptom of something worse. Killing him won't stop the next rat from rising. Here, take this. My directive for appointing a new captain. Tradition says I should do it in person, but frankly, I've got bigger priorities.
Who's the new captain?
Beargas will take over as interim captain, and Killian will handle quartermaster duties. They're the only ones in this cesspit who aren't completely out of touch with reality. When I return, I'll make it official, but I doubt anything will change.
What about the rest of the Dalriada? The ones who aren't here?
Oh, don't confuse Breadan's lunatics with the Dalrida as a whole. Camelot respects its agreements with the Council of Elders. What you saw here was just a pack of fools dreaming of taking Avalon for themselves. That dream ended today.
Brandon promised to tell me about the ritual of the keepers.
Ah, yes. The great ritual. Here's what you need to know. There's an old gong in the sunken village. They say striking it starts the test, meant to separate the worthy from the rest. Romantic, isn't it? Reality is far less poetic.
Oh.
Those trials, they killed most who tried. And those who survived, well, they were changed, twisted, unnatural. Only those who endured were worthy of becoming keepers. The so-called guardians of Excalibur. But ask yourself this. If none of them are alive to tell the tale, how much of this ritual is truth and how much is just desperate myth?
So it's dangerous then?
I don't know. And I don't care. I don't have time for folk tales and the nonsense of these glorified fishermen. If you want to trace their stories, go ahead. But don't drag me into it. I'm here to fight a war, not indulge in their fantasies. Now, I've wasted enough time here. Stay alive if you can, or don't, it's your choice. I have more important matters to deal with.
Right. Well, let's have another search around here to see if we can find the correct shrine to take these amulets to. Okay, there's one here with an offering bowl. We have received a new version. Receiving fatal damage leaves you with 100% health instead of dying, and increases maximum health by 35%, but destroys the amulet. Okay, one moment. Because I'm pretty sure the other was without the health increase. Let's just go interrupted. And load the thick of battle. Sure, that'll do. So in theory then, this more powerful version is worth getting killed with. Oh wow. Yep. Leaves you with 100% health instead of dying, but destroys the amulet. Whereas this new one also gives 35 extra health. Right? Which would be a bit of a godsend, to be honest. Yeah, increases maximum health by 35. Okay. Interesting. Now it would seem our duty here is done. Let's gather up what we can from the spoils of war. I mean, that's just... Oh no, there are legs there. I thought that was just half a man for a moment. There were other warriors in here. They could easily have gone outside and joined the fighting out there. But I'm looking to see if there are any more carcasses to attend to. Like the greedy vulture we are. We can also probably... Yep, there's only 3 of those. Probably switch for less valuable potions is what I was going to say. So we can still rest here. He hasn't destroyed that carving, interestingly. Alright. Let the great gathering commence. So obviously Old One-Eye may be a by-name for Odin. This would be stolen. Interesting. Meaning we could get... The gauntlets are named. I'm intrigued. But I don't particularly fancy getting into trouble. Just yet. I'm going to be so over-encumbered on the walk back. Also, I still have not found my way into the cavern, whereby I think it's going to be a long swim to try and get in there. Here we go. I could have sworn I checked that shrine previously, so it must have been that I wasn't allowed to use it while the Dalriado were watching it. Easy little Potter. So now we have well and truly upset the apple cart, as it were. Disrupted the natural order of things. I wonder what now will happen with Orla. She may have buggered off, to be honest, because she'll probably be able to keep her head out of trouble. But since the task she gave us was for a client, and that client was the captain, I want to check if that quest has failed. No. Interesting. Interesting indeed, although I have been advised strongly not to complete that quest, essentially, not to uncover the location. If I'm going to encounter warriors as mighty as those berserkers in the future, and they were very silent berserkers, very quiet, makes me think of the Black Cauldron from Celtic mythology, where the Dagda was able to place the bodies of dead warriors into the cauldron. Was it the Dagda or Balor? No, I think it was Balor who would place the bodies of the dead. No, I think it was the Dagda or Lu the Golden. Would place there was a war, you know, an ongoing battle that lasted many days. The bodies of dead warriors were placed in the cauldron, and they would emerge from it alive once again, but unable to speak. They could live and fight, but that was about it. Okay, looks like we've got a weird night to travel through, or we can just rest here in this safe haven. Besmirched though it is by foul splatters of blood. Let us pray the protection holds out. Now, there was definitely more than one here. Okay. There should be a third one here somewhere. Was that it? Not necessarily. Ah, here are more. Now, there's a dirty little trick I could use, which would be to abuse the magic teleporting stash, dump everything in there, run back to the keep, and then just sell it all from stash. Actually, it wouldn't even need to take it out again. But I already hate the fact that the only thing I've done to take items out of the stash and put them back in was to compare armor sets. I don't like the teleporting stash. At some point it will probably become a necessary element of the game when I move on to the next region. I like the fact these bodies at least are persisting. A spare copy of Vrand's key, which presumably means obviously she kept a copy for herself when she gave me one, right? So we have Ugwe the smith. I think one of those items may have counted as stolen. Sobda, who wouldn't speak to me, Ferov. I think we had nameless berserkers, maybe one other person who stood over here and didn't do anything. Yeah. I should be looking for... Oh, have they smashed up the forge? I think they have. They completely demolished the place, didn't they? Well, that's only to be expected, really. Let's see what we have. So, beast-hide boots. Ooh, okay. Lower armor, 10 strength and endurance. Obviously that's +4, so up to 4 armor, so no, good armor values. Sven Clanfolk's kilt. Field Seeker's armor, 15. 15! And it's not even that heavy. That is quite impressive. Oh, that's just good all round. Increases buff duration by 30% if we had any. Sven Pathfinder armor. I kind of want to try all this stuff out. You know what? Yeah, let's do it. Okay. So, obviously this stuff is not going to... Oh, wow. No trousers. Okay. We'll go Pathfinder first, right? We'll just go like that so we can see ourselves better. Okay, so that's Pathfinder set, and she gets to show off her tattoos for a bit, which are there because they feel sort of setting appropriate. Oh, we do have some things here. Okay, just all Volker Berserker stuff. So we'll look at Volker stuff in a bit. Volker. Okay, so 2 kinds of boots. Okay, Raider's skirt. There we go. And that's a body section, not a leg section. Volker's Blood Rage armor. Pretty good in terms of base stats. No magical enchantments or anything. That red is very... It's a glow without a glow. It's very odd. We got Berserker armor. I think it's just like a healing potion covered in dirt. So it's just glowing through... Okay. So that's a straight 15. That's a straight 12. With higher requirements. So it might enhance better at a blacksmith station. And then this. Wait. Blood Rage. Berserker. So there we go. So that's like the Berserker set, right? Except with these boots. There we go. Okay. Then we have the Blood Rage armor. The Blood Rage braces. I couldn't really call them gauntlets. I mean, it was basically Chaos Warrior kit, right? And we got a helmet to go with it. The helmet seems to have its own beard. Interestingly enough. Yeah. And then we got this set. Which actually doesn't have any boots of its own. So there we go. And that's 35 armor. As opposed to, obviously, heavily interesting. So not a massive armor difference. We're only down like 2 armor essentially. There we go. Oh, and we get all these. Increases critical chance by 20%, but also increases incoming damage by 25%. They seem to have enough health to not worry about that increase in incoming damage. We have the Highland Axe, which doesn't look particularly special. And now we're on 710 out of 215 encumbrance. Obviously, abusing the magic teleporting stash is very appealing right now. Or we could just head out into the weird night and have some fun. I suspect we have severely hampered any chance we have of making a friend of a Dalriada. This looks like the same model. Almost. A free... Also free, but longer and larger. I wonder... It does splay out towards the bottom. It's a very similar... It's practically a retexture of the same model. Right. Let us return to the Horns, where we will sell a lot of items. No, wait. That is looking weirder than usual. What? 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 Oh, wow. That's interesting. The barrier, the protective barrier around the location, seems to be unusually dark when viewed from the inside. That's unusual. I'm not familiar with that. This may be the point where the more dangerous creatures of the mist may begin to come for us. I think I'm heading over that bridge. Then taking a left. My planned route goes thus. Also, this lets me blatantly check. Yeah, over this bridge. Take the second left, through the Broch, and then over the central road. Plus, dealing with any... One moment, I just need to adjust my chair. There we are. That's a good 3 or 4 inches higher than it was. This plan is obviously modified by any denizens of the night that should happen to cross our path. Also, should we happen to gain a lot of experience along the way that will go towards our next level, that would be highly appreciated. I did see on the forum that taking this path closes you out of the Dalriada training quest that we appear to have begun. But that might just be people who hadn't started the quest yet, right? Where are we? Forging ties. I mean, when we go and find Kfor and say Ugwe sent us to you and you say, yeah, I heard he was fucking murdered and it was your fault, I'm not going to help you. Yeah, possible. Or it could just be that people were shut out of that quest because they hadn't received the recommendation yet. Weird. Who knows? I may be well and truly shafted in the next area. There's another thing I may be locked out of as well. And that's okay, right? This is a playthrough. I'm going to have some fun. Stop doing fucking shit. Oh, what are you? Oh, it's a wolf. Okay. I am not getting enough criticals to replenish stamina at low health. Or at low stamina. So I think I need to boost that critical rate. Also, I may need to enhance this a few more times. Actually, at +4 or +5, like my mace, it may do even more damage. Where? Over there. He's definitely appearing very frequently this night, unlike the last night or two. Wait. If the gong is a challenge that calls him, right? Activates him, lets him find us, that could be the catalyst, right? And how are we moving so quickly when we're this heavily encumbered? That feels wrong. Come on, little Quirko. Let's find our way out of here if we can. I see. Weird spirits on the other side there. So apparently, yeah, I was correct about the correlation between the appearance of weird spirits and the creatures I've been killing. There's been times where I've felt that foes would not respawn until the weird spirits that have replaced them have been defeated. Some people are now saying that fighting the weird spirits slows down the respawning of things. So if you just leave the weird spirits there and don't interact, they might respawn faster. My initial impression was rather the other way around. Got him. And there's a second one around here somewhere nearby. I don't think I'll seek it out, but if it comes for me, I should be prepared. So far, I have not strayed massively from the path. However, I came close at one point. You know, just general footwork during a fight. Where? I don't see him. Right. And this path is now very faint. Let us follow it all the same. It probably will be morning before we return to the Horns of the South, at this pace. And that's okay. The dangers may retract. Any moment now, actually. In fact, it may even be dusk again before we reach the Horns. As the weird night is retreating and soon all shall be safe. I still do not desire to uncover that location. Maybe I should have done. But it would appear to still be available as an option until I get back to the keep, then I find out if she's still there, and if she still desires the task to be done at all. Okay, look, here's what we're going to do. I'm not going to try and get over that low tumble down wall in this state of encumbrance, rather. But apparently I'm happy to increase my load. Probably shouldn't do that too much, realistically. Oh, you're kidding. Well, I'll go over this one then. There we are. Let it lie there. I'm not going to say forevermore, but at least for now. We have achieved a great thing. By which I mean watched and then did some fighting afterwards. But this has shaken things up significantly. I'm not sure Fergus will be a good captain. His sense of caution may stand him in good stead, but he is a bit of a callous arsehole. He may be decent and honourable enough though. Let's hope that overrides his lack of a sense of... It's a sort of lack of a sense of responsibility for his men, not a lack of a sense of responsibility for the area around him, although he's been confined and constrained. The lockdown is an interesting choice. The captain gave the order, but he hasn't chosen to countermand it in the captain's absence. He has been content to keep everyone cooped up inside. And the other interesting thing actually now is, if the lockdown is at this point lifted, or maybe it will, as his temporary captain, the lockdown will stay until he's permanently instated when someone comes from Camelot to do so, right? But if it is, if the lockdown is lifted, will the keepers begin to leave the keep of the Horns of the South and venture forth into the surrounding countryside? I don't think the traitor had a tag, but I didn't look too closely. If his tag was the last tag to bring back and complete the quest, now that doesn't make sense, because it could play out the other way in his favour with his little rebellion, which could potentially actually get quite large due to the lack of oversight from the capital in these parts. I suppose during this walk back I should reflect on the actions I have taken and on their possible consequences going forward. I also imagine that when I arrive there I may begin to witness consequences. I should not. It's only copper. So if Osbrit is going to have an idea for how to repair the gong, he might want metal of some sort. Fortunately, we've already gathered titanium, and we may be able to get some more meteoric iron in the next few days. Beyond that, I suppose we shall see. Now, overall I don't feel too bad about what I've done. I feel it would have been interesting to see how things had played out if I had sided with the traitor, because nobody loves a traitor. And the important thing about the saying, nobody loves a traitor, is that that is including the traitor themselves. They're going to hate themselves for the rest of their life for what they've done. To destroy yourself like that has got to be worth more than 30 pieces of silver and a cheap rope. Which, incidentally, explains the line in Serenity, where after betraying the gang, the Mr. Universe says to the agent, or the operative, now give me my 30 coins. I don't think it was a literal 30 coins, but a biblical reference, which I'm fairly sure a good deal of the audience caught up on. One reason for this is that in Firefly, there was a slightly old-fashioned... Yeah, the culture was sort of very Christian in many ways, but also it was interesting that the Oriental culture was highly valued, but that the Oriental people were the lower class with no real sort of status, and swearing was done in their language because they were the kind of culture that would do that, right? And the other people are too polite and don't use words for those sort of things anymore. The only words they hear from them are from the lower class, uncouth, uncivilized people. And why are these people just, why were they portrayed as lower class? Not because of any sort of judgment on their culture, but because of the speed at which they breed, and them being so numerous and all-pervasive, they became, okay, so yeah, they essentially became cheap labor, right? Like, we can always replace them. There's loads of them, it's not a problem. That's Osbert. It's not interesting. Not the person I expected to come and see. Nothing unusual. Okay, let's sell some items then. We don't need so many of these. Let's sell off these. There's nothing very special about those. Right, now. I'll sell one of these. I didn't try those. Wait, two? Oh, clan. Right, not. Okay, yeah. And these are all just... normal trousers with nothing too special about them. And we will be... Oh, all of those non-magical. Okay, excellent. We'll sell off these. Right. We're just lightening our load. Aren't we supposed to have a, a document to deliver? I should tell Fergus before Killian, realistically. I am the one supposed to be delivering this news, right? Although it feels like it may have already been done for me. Fergus should be informed, yep. And go see Osbert. I see, that's the quest being tracked, not the other one. Got it. Got it. Excellent. Ooh. I mean, it seems by the time I arrived, most of the fighting had already been done. It also seems I was definitely going to have to fight those berserkers.
Glad to see you here.
I have a letter for you from Galahad the Pure.
You've met Galahad? Why isn't he here himself?
We've defeated One Eye and his people. The temple is liberated. Just read the letter. That's very... I could tell him more.
This can't be real. Galahad confirms Captain Brendan's death and calls him a traitor to the Keepers. He's named me interim captain. Me? And says he'll make it official on his next visit. His seal is here. It's undeniable.
Congratulations, Captain Fergus.
If Galahad believes I'm the one to set things right, I won't argue. Someone has to. But Brandon, a traitor? I can hardly believe it. I'd heard rumors of his dealings with One Eye and his faltering judgment. If he sided with the enemy, then this end was inevitable.
We can't confirm it. So, what happens now?
Now it's on me to make sure the Keepers don't follow Brandon into ruin. I'll undo the lockdown. The Horns of the South will rise again. Properly. Galahad has promised reinforcements, and I'll see to rebuilding our ranks. Recruitment, training, real purpose. For the first time in years, I have hope. Not just for the Keepers, but for the South itself. Come with me. I have to let the Keepers know.
He was suitably emotive there.
Brothers of the South. We've lost Brandon, a captain who led with grit and a sharp mind. His absence weighs on us all. But our purpose does not die with him. The Horns of the South are more than one leader, more than one name. We are a legacy, a bond that cannot be broken. We've faced loss, we've faced doubt, but we're still here.
He's been let out of the
The Horns
stocks.
of the South do not falter. We endure. And today, we rise once more.
Oh, that got a bit
We
laggy.
return to the roots that made us strong, to the traditions that bound us together. The Horns of the South will reclaim their honor, their purpose, and their place in these lands. Our name will mean something again. Galahad has pledged tighter bonds with Camelot. Together, we will stand stronger, and all will know that the South is shielded, its people protected. Remember your oaths. From this day forward, we stand united. With each other, with Camelot, and no threat will scatter us again. The danger from the Doriada and the bandits has passed, and others will come as they always do. Let them. We will face them as we always have, with courage, with steel, and with unwavering loyalty. The Horns of the South do not bow. We do not break. We stand together. Now, let's show the world that we are not just surviving. We are thriving. To the
Oh,
South.
that's very modern.
To the Horns.
It's very American, surviving to thriving. Right, so I'm very concerned by the back of the top of his hair, which seems to be gathered to a point of non-existence and invisibility. The bottom of the lower portion of his hair, just... Were we supposed to be standing beside him then? And we were just invisible? I don't know. Let's see if old... what's his name is back in the stocks. It was nice to see familiar faces once again. Well, he's gone. He's probably in the quartermaster's place now. We don't... and he's back in the stocks. They let him out for that speech. I like the fact that Fergus was more emotionally invested now than he has been up to this point. I also suspect that while he's from Camelot, Caradoc will not be pleased of the action we have taken. He would probably rather things went the other way.
Oh, he's a...
What do you think about Camelot's changes to the Keep's leadership?
Aragas as captain. Well, that's the kind of solid choice we've been needing. Killian, though... Well, here's hoping his new post doesn't mean the rest of us get to bleed for his amusement.
Perhaps Killian could be persuaded to provide some of the warriors with better equipment. Although then they might squabble over who gets what and jealousy. There's an ancient gong in the sunken village. Can you fix it?
Why would you want to fix it? Do you even know what it is?
Take some advice from an old man. If there's a giant ancient statue that somebody tried to turn to dust, they must have had a good reason for it.
I need to repair it to become a keeper. I don't want to become a keeper.
Well, if you put it that way, then I suppose I have to tell you the truth. Otherwise, the terror from the sea will bite me in the ass while I bathe. Of course I can fix it. I've been doing this kind of thing since I could swing a hammer. It's a skill we pass down from master to apprentice, generation to generation. Nothing fancy, just good old blacksmithing. Obviously, though, you'd have to bring me a couple things so that I can actually do it.
Right. I've collected enough ethereal cobwebs and I've found the gong, apparently, so... I have everything you wanted in order to fix the gong. I apparently picked it up earlier.
How did you, Oh, forget it. I don't even want to know. Just give me a moment.
Of course. Take all the time you need.
Here. That should do it. Do whatever you need to if you're really sure about this. But please try to come back alive.
Is there anything I should know?
I have nothing to tell you. I could try to talk you out of it, but I'm guessing that wouldn't work.
I'd say your guess is fairly accurate. Let's play campaign dump shit. We don't need any of these. Let's see, 43 to 48. Yeah, we don't need these. Or this. Or those. Right. Hold on to this for a little. Don't need that. Now we'll keep one of everything, as has been our custom, just in case. That doesn't go for shoddy stuff. Or things we've already got better in stash. So all those go. Right. Volker Berserker's armor, we can let some of these go. Galahad's Knight's Tabard. Okay. Maybe we should keep one of these. Just in case. Hang on to that because it's different. Oh, 20%. That's a big increase, actually. We don't need two of those. Probably don't need to hang on to the kilts, to be honest. That's plus nothing. So it'll amount to nothing. And these are also plus nothing, so they can go. Oh, right, yeah, so are these then. Right. And then we hang on to these. We don't need all of these. Oh. These are going to be the great big antlers on the back, aren't they? Okay. That means this would appear on the back as well, apparently. Interesting. Okay. Why are we still... Oh, because we haven't stashed stuff yet, probably. Presumably. I feel... Although the gong might just be really heavy. It's worth looking at the upgrade requirements. Wait. Iron. That. Yep. Ooh, titanium. Well, we have some. Is it just 1 per? Interesting, because there's no stats on it. Right. So that's meteoric. Okay, interesting. Whitening tabard. That's a moustache, right? Would be nice to be able to distinguish between the two at the forge. I think now I would like to speak to Fergus about the sword itself. Let him know what I'm doing here. He's been fairly, a little reserved, but fairly decent and honourable. And I feel it only fair to inform him. So I wonder if we would get to join the Seekers whatever way we took through this quest. Right. We're stashing this. And all these. Right, down to 159 out of 215. I could probably stash some of these, as these are heavier now. I should look into upgrading this. Ooh. As that is the ignoring blocks is very nice. And I may want to swap back to the night set at some point. It seems like it has more durability. Alright. Is this still locked? Yes, definitely.
Quartermaster, finally! About time someone noticed my talents. Fergus can play captain all he likes. I'll be the one deciding who eats, fights, or freezes. Please, state your business.
Well, perhaps you could start with deciding that everyone eats and nobody freezes.
Go, the hunter waits.
Would be nice to know where Fergus has got to be honest. He may be in his quarters, but... Oh! A whole icon on the screen. Well, let's hold on. I'll have a quick look in here in case he's around. I don't think I'll go down into the cellar. Oh, wow, okay. Obviously he's not in the museum. The game is really channeling me towards that main quest at the moment. Wait. This was locked, but... Ah! And his door is downstairs. What? Sorry? So how does it feel to be the captain?
I told myself I'd take a more hands-on approach than Brandon. I'd focus on the keep and avoid politics. Turns out, that's about all I can do anyway. Brandon left us in a precarious position with Camelot. They wouldn't even let me choose my own quartermaster. I'll take time to rebuild their trust, if that's even possible. Still, it could have been worse. Much worse.
Much worse indeed. Is there someone else you would have chosen instead of Quartermaster? Is Killian not the choice you like?
It's too early to say if he'll be good at the job. But the problem is, he's not one of us. And he's never shown much respect for the Keepers. That role should have gone to one of my men. But Brendan's betrayal made that impossible.
Indeed. At least the Horns of the South should be safe now.
That's true. Whatever the reasoning, Camelot's support should help stabilize the region. Hopefully, we'll appoint new keepers and finally put an end to the bandit problem. Don't get me wrong. I still believe this is the best outcome we could have hoped for after the mess Brandon made. It'll secure our future. But his betrayal left a stain on the keepers, and it weighs on me. Maybe more than it should.
I thought you'd be happy to have a closer relationship with Camelot.
I am. We need their support now more than ever, and I'm glad they're finally paying attention to us. But this isn't how I wanted things to go. I hoped Camelot would see us as their strength in the south, a strength that just needed fostering. Instead, they treat us like a den of vipers, something they have to keep under constant watch in case we betray them again.
You know what? I'm going to save the game just in case this is a horrific mistake. I'm actually here for Excalibur.
Excalibur? You want to pull it out? That's a good one. Well, be my guest. If you think you can, go ahead. But unless you're King Arthur reborn, I wouldn't count on it.
Yeah, about that. Let's just not leap to conclusions, okay? Those are ginormous shields. We're not taking any of that stuff. Nice big bed, but it's not ours. Empty chest. There's that picture again of the creature with tentacles coming out from the cloak.
And mind your step.
What if the tentacles represent tendrils of mist seeping out and spreading? There's that mist-bearer creature we still have to look out for. Well, might as well get this underway. It may be possible to draw forth the spirit from the sword, but this is certainly a safer way of doing it. You know what? What do you think about Camelot's changes to the Keep's leadership?
Well, it's definitely going to be harder to do business with him than it was with Brandon, that's for sure. Ugh, poor bastard. Not like he didn't have it coming, though. He had some good ideas for this place, but treason is treason. Now, Fergus is going to bury the Horns of the South in the past, much to Camelot's delight. But that's really not my problem. As long as there's money, I'll stick around. And when it dries up, I'll be long gone.
Yeah, she's tacitly...
Keep your head down and your purse tighter.
Mm-hmm. She's tacitly agreeing with the traitor, saying she won't go as far as to say it because she doesn't want to incriminate herself. Let us sally forth into the wilderness that surrounds the Horns. I should probably go down to the village of the the asylum seekers, right? check how they're doing, see if the keepers are treating them any better now. Now that the lockdown has been lifted. But I do have a purpose. Actually, what is the time? Okay. We have been promised that the island is safe. We also have a bow. Oh, come on. Excellent. We should avoid the heads on drowners because occasionally, I'm pretty sure it's this one, occasionally they have that horn shell that protects them. We don't want a bow on us if we're going to be engaging in dangerous stuff. And we don't have our swimming gear on either, so let's just plunge into the depths, the icy depths anyway. Hob has told us that the island is safe from the weirdness. We'll have to take his word for it. Bloody hell, Quirko. You're teleporting ahead of me. There's a giant sea monster that comes looming out of the sea, taking up, possibly even a quarter of the screen, and Hob's gone. Clearly the thing he was waiting for has happened. Or we're about to make it happen. The Eternal Sea. What? That must be the name of the gong. Okay. Oh, fuck! Wasn't expecting to be inside the monster. I can now see why this is a test that messes people up. Are you you're with us, little podder? Of course you are. Okay, look, this is freaky. I'm not doing this for you. I'm doing this for me. It's a coping mechanism, alright? Do not be scared. Again, I'm not saying that to you. I'm saying it to myself. That looks like a four-dweller. We have a great power that protects us. And let us pray that it is enough. That looks like a jump. Okay, we made it. You staying back there? Alright, don't blame you. It's pretty scary here. We could probably step across that gap. I'll stick on this side for now. In the hope I don't need to leap. That was like no step up there at all from the roots. The collar and the shape of the face makes it look like a four-dweller. Let's take a little peek over the edge. Oh yeah, that's pretty... I mean, I wouldn't say it's infinite, but it's pretty bottomless as far as our health is concerned. It's the same gong in the belly of the beast. Presumably, nothing happened. Presumably this does not correlate physically, you know. Oh, interesting. It is as if we are inside the skeleton of a great sea monster.
Who dares disturb my peace. You made an oath never to summon me again.
That sounds remarkably similar to the Four-Dweller voice of Arthur, but deeper and like a different man's voice, but similar qualities. Similar weird qualities to the voice. Forgive me, my lord. I want to be deemed worthy to touch the Excalibur.
Excalibur? Wait. Is it really you? You, who come from a time beyond. Show yourself before me.
Here we are. I cannot be this stupid. But if I speak for both of us as one, does he know you?
It seems he speaks to me. Allow me to answer him. Welcome,
Of course.
old friend. I can see that you know me, but I am a mere shadow of my true self. I don't remember you, Lord of the Seas. Forgive me. That's what you told me, my friend. The next time we see each other, you will not remember me. But you are here now. The will and the power led you back to this place. Even in this incomplete form. Where should I look for myself? I wish to restore Avalon to its former glory, yet I don't know how. Avalon's fate has never rested upon one person alone, not even one as great as King Arthur. Yet here you are, trying again, restless and eager to take the responsibility again. I salute you, my friend. Tell me what I must do to be worthy to lead Avalon once more. I do not think I have the strength. Your path is true. Seek wholeness, and Avalon will reveal what it needs from you. And yes, you need to touch Excalibur.
Oh.
Thank you, my friend. And you, mortal. You have given yourself to the king's service. You are worthy of a place among the keepers of the South. Arthur, take out your sword and fear no failure. It is yours to take. It always was. I deem you worthy, my friend. The promise I gave thy mother is fulfilled, and thus our pact is ended. You know where to look for your soul. Trust yourself. And when you reach your journey's end, I trust you will make the right choice.
So Arthur's mother is Queen Igraine of Cornwall. When I said "oh" like that, it's because I believe I recognized the voice. I believe that the Lord of the Deep, the Lord of the Sea, was played by the same actor who plays Fergus. And then as I listened more closely, it was definitely sounding that way. And I didn't want to speak over them, because it's my first time experiencing this as well. Okay, no. Don't worry, little Potter. We'll get you off that ledge. Can we... We cannot interact together. Obviously, we're going back up there. But first, we have some swimming to do. Whoop, down we go. Let's try and resurface for air and to get our bearing. Woo! Those are mighty waves. I remember the current affects swimming now, as of a few patches ago. Is it not glorious? Although perhaps we should wait till the light of day. What of the dawn, you might ask? What are you, the fighting Uruk-hai? Dawn has always been, what is it Aragorn says? Dawn has always been the hope of men, or something like that. Again, I'm talking about the book, not the film. Where the Uruk-hai didn't say anything. During the siege of... The fucking siege! Yeah, right, the siege of the Hornburg. All one night assault of it. One of the biggest changes in the film was the fucking elves at Helm's Deep. The second, one of the other biggest changes was their interpretation of "Look for me at dawn on the 5th day." In the book, in the film, it's the 5th day from the time of him saying it. In the book, it's the 5th day of the siege. And the entire siege, over the course of those 4 days, it shows, it explains why Theoden is so depressed and beaten and worn down by the end of it. Because he's still recovering from years of brainwashing and gaslighting and manipulation. Also, interestingly, in the book, he's not being mentally controlled by Saruman from very far away. He's being fully manipulated by Grima Wormtongue as an agent of Saruman. In the film, Grima might as well not be there, right? Unless he's some sort of focal point that allows the spells to be delivered. And he's kind of robbed of agency a lot. Speaking of agency, let's get some proper sleep. And since we are walking around talking to people, we'll take off our spiky... Oh, we got the stuck hair again. Okay. We got the really stuck hair. It's not the cloak, does it? Is it? Nah. Okay. Let's try again. Yeah, now it moves. Okay. Excellent. I believe we may need to undergo some kind of ceremony to make our membership of the Keepers official. Although it looks like we're blatantly supposed to just walk up and touch it. You know what? Can we tell him it worked? No, we cannot. We can't say, thank you for your repairs, we did the thing and it worked now. Can we go and see the captain first? Just in case it matters in his office. Just let him know we have permission now, it's okay. Tell your men not to interrupt us. Not that most of them would anyway. I'm not going to call them worthless pieces of shit, but a lot of them don't seem to take their duties here too seriously.
Lost or what?
I've passed the ancient ritual. Does it mean I can now become a keeper?
It does. Tradition is tradition, and none of us can deny that. But it's also tradition that only men can become keepers. I'm not sure those two can coexist. Still, you survived the ritual, and refusing you now would feel wrong. You've earned this honor, even though something tells me you won't remain here for long. Very well then. Kneel. In shadows and flame, we stand. In burden and blood, we endure. We guard the fragile, we mend the broken, and carry the weight that others cannot. We are the light that cuts through the storm, the beacon that guides when all seems lost. The line that bends but does not break. The hands that shield when hope falters. By this vow, you are bound. By this duty, you are capped. Rise, keeper. Wherever you go, stay true to your oaths, and remember, now you have a home and brothers to return to. Now that you're one of us, I've got a special assignment. You know the land, and you've shown you're tough enough to handle it. We, on the other hand, were stuck inside the keep. That gave the bandits time to spread like wildfire. We could use a head start in clearing them out.
Ah, about that. I may have done it already. Of course, sir.
Great. Here's a list of the places we need help clearing out.
It's a written list. And we get a full set of Keeper's armor. Restoring order, Little Grove. The King's Road. Merchant Ruins. Are we going to go post notices where we previously had to with the early access quest? Is it just 3 places? Okay. 4 up to +4 would be 8. Increases attack speed. Critical damage. Critical chance. And stamina regeneration. Okay, not a bad set, but I think we have better. And now we have a far more interesting matter to attend to. I pressed the button. Let's try again. Oh, do I need to hold so it fills up? Oh, I see. I had to press 2 buttons at once there, but we're very close together on the keyboard, but we got a whole load screen. Oh, we're back here. Our little Potter doesn't seem to be with us this time. There he is. You can come in here too? That is strange.
I am his will, the fire that bends the world to his command.
And now we're going to be commanded to bind the soul to the stone. This feels like we're doing something very wrong.
I am the blade that shapes kings and shatters tyrants.
But remember, the scabbard is more important, and it has been lost. That is now lit up. I don't know if I can interact with these. Probably not without jumping, anyway. I can.
He was the fire that forged order from chaos. He was the hand that lifted kingdoms, the will that carved a path through darkness.
Interesting. Oh, there's a dome forming of blood. Is he going to get like a skeleton and some basic organs now and start becoming more complete?
He was the hand that reached beyond knowing, the seeker who dared cross the boundary, the dreamer who glimpsed the shape of what could be.
Just for... Oh, wow. There we go. Right. I'm going to... move the focus so that that isn't giving a great big quest marker in the middle of a room. Huh. The gallows, Little Grove, King's Road. So I presume this is permanently killing them. They may be more powerful, or there's a 0 next to those, so presumably that might be a kill count. Let us see what happens.
Enough, Merlin. You can't keep throwing lives into this abyss. These experiments, they're destroying what remains of us.
Destroying us? They're what's keeping us alive. Do you think the Four Dwellers will stop for pity or mercy? Every soul we lose here saves 10 more on the battlefield. You told me to do this. You sanctioned this. And I'm close to getting it right. I know it.
No, we can't justify this. There's no victory worth such a cost.
You know full well, Arthur, that this isn't about victory. It's about survival. If we don't push these boundaries, there will be no future for your kingdom, for Avalon. You dream of peace, but without victory, there will be no peace to dream of. The path ahead is brutal, but if we relent now, we lose everything.
And yet we keep losing people and gaining nothing in return. We must change the path.
They volunteered for this.
They volunteered to save our kingdom, and you've got no closer to doing it.
Wait.
Their sacrifices cannot be in vain, Merlin. Find another way. Use your mind, your wisdom. Leave this slaughterhouse you've created behind.
A different way. That will take time, and resources we may not have. The enemy won't wait.
They will if I make them. Whatever it takes, I will buy you that time. Find me a weapon that wins this war without annihilating what we fight to protect.
Whatever it takes.
Yes. Let it be known that it was my decision, and I will bear the consequences of it.
Oh no, my king. People can never know. It was all my idea, and you knew nothing about it. All of us have our role to play. You are the leader, and they need to love you. If we win, you need to become more than a man. You need to become a symbol.
What if the people sacrificed were the Knights of the Round Table, and the reason that you can break into their tombs and take their stuff and become them is because you become possessed, the same way that we are possessed by Arthur's spirit, right? And so they are also everlasting. So they kept dying, but they didn't know that at the point it wasn't clear they were going to keep coming back. You have gathered a new fragment of Arthur's soul, unlocking its hidden potential. Open the menu to explore the King's Soul skill tree, or visit a bonfire to develop your new abilities. So, King's Soul, new menu, it's all shifted over. 1 point available. We have 2 skill trees, Excalibur and the King's Soul. When using the King's Soul, time slows down around you, so it looks like there's only 6. And we may only get like 3 or 4 over the course of the story. But wait, there's more here. So gaining more fragments of the King's Soul may unlock these. That looks like helmet, that's the shield, isn't it? Okay. When using King's Soul, you deflect all incoming projectiles. If King's Soul is fully charged, automatically use it when you would receive lethal damage. But all it does is slow time at the moment. Dealing damage has a small chance to create a weird essence which can be collected to regenerate a portion of King's Soul. That seems like a very good thing to gain. Killing enemies restores a portion of King's Soul, so on top of that. Finishers restore 400% more King's Soul than whatever that value is. When using King's Soul, your damage increases by 50% for each enemy killed. And when using King's Soul, you receive 50% less damage. Well, these two are all very tempting. This one is as well. Also, we've gained no level. Okay. Just for one there then. But that may soon change. Do we now leave through the door? I believe we do, from this Geiger-esque hell. This prison to whichever... I mean, it's all going to the sarcophagus and the sword itself. He may rise from it when everything is brought back together from all of these four sources. For now, let us depart this place and prepare.
Now, I remember.
So you knew all about what was going on?
Before you judge me, it all seems so obvious now, doesn't it? The right thing to do. It wasn't back then, and you can trust me on that. We were on the brink of losing the war, and wars aren't won with wishful thinking. There was no clean path, no noble answer. Only the weight of reality pressing down on our necks. Something had to be done, or everything we fought for would have been in vain. And in the end, the ones who stepped forward, who chose to pay the price, made it possible. And their deaths gave Merlin the knowledge he needed to finish his work. To find something that could really turn the tide in our favor.
To find, not create. You really think that experimenting on your men was justified? Look, in a situation that dire, it's not easy to think objectively. And sometimes sacrifices do need to be made. If I get into a spot of bother and get really worked up about it, it's not easy for me to take a step back and get an outside perspective and look at different options. I can be stuck in a situation and only see one way out of it, even though there probably is more than one. And not wish to take that option because the only option I can see seems like the worst possible option. But it also appears to be the only one. I would imagine this is a very similar situation, but let's see what he has to say on the matter.
Justified? No. Justification is for those who have the luxury of doubt. And I had a kingdom to save. They were brave men who volunteered their lives, just as they did every time we rode onto the battlefield. The difference was that if Merlin succeeded, one man's sacrifice could have saved us all, could have ended the war before more blood was spilled. If sacrificing a few meant the survival of all, then there was no choice at all. Maybe they never saw justice. Maybe their real stories were erased from history. Call it cruelty. call it madness. But if I'd done nothing, there would be no Avalon left to argue over. But the kingdom still stands. The people live. And that has to mean something.
I feel that if Arthur was the last sacrifice, then the idea of his soul being divided up to protect the realm and reuniting it, weakening the protection, and he's fighting the weirdness from within, pulling it apart in different directions so it cannot coalesce. And every time he returns and tries to reunite himself and bring parts of himself back together, the weirdness grows stronger because he's no longer holding it at bay. That seems to be the way this is headed. I could be very mistaken. You agreed to lie to your people about your role in all this.
I did. But this wasn't about pride.
No.
It wasn't about saving face. It was about survival. The truth about all this would have broken my people. I couldn't allow that.
Indeed.
And a king doesn't get to flinch. If that meant carrying the weight alone, so be it. I would make that choice again if I had to.
Indeed. It wasn't about saving his reputation. It was about the stability of the people and protecting them so they did not destroy themselves in chaos and disruption with their dreams shattered. So what did he come up with to win the war? Because we haven't had much clarity yet as to what actually was done.
I told him to stop the experiments on our men, but to keep going. And he did. He started experimenting on the Four Dwellers, the enemy.
Oh.
If their bodies could be broken down, their power turned against them, wasn't that their own doing? Wasn't that fair? So he figured out how to twist the Four Dwellers' power into something we could wield. I told him to conquer the weirdness. And in the end, he did.
Wait. The weirdness doesn't seem to be very conquered at the moment. You better tell me more.
He found a way to make me stronger.
Yep.
Stronger than any man had the right to be. It wasn't just magic. It was something deeper, older. A force that reshaped me. And with it, we won. The war ended. Avalon was ours. The bloodshed stopped. The banners were raised, and the kingdom stood safe.
And what price had you paid for this? Does victory erase the price you paid for it? We're definitely harping on about these sacrifices as if we cannot accept it. It must be quite a shock, and something we haven't considered yet.
That's the question, isn't it? I keep thinking about Seawall. He was ready to pay the ultimate price for what we were fighting for.
Was he the first sacrifice?
And I thought he did. I grieved him. Told myself his sacrifice had meaning, that he had given his life for Avalon. And now, after all these years, finding him like this, I told myself I carried the weight of my choices.
Wait, you found Sewell?
But seeing him, I wonder if I ever truly did.
I don't think that's Sewell up there. Apparently, if we go through this quest another way, we get to go into Sewell's tomb. And it's a bit odd that Arthur speaks of him now, because we haven't encountered him or met him at all. Who's that voice?
Another piece of the king's soul reclaimed, right? What did it show you this time?
Merlin and Arthur speaking about ancient experiments.
Merlin. Merlin and his obsession with the weirdness. The king thought it could save us. Merlin thought it could be controlled. Together, they were willing to tear the world apart to win.
You know more than you're letting on. Perhaps you could start making some sense now. Also, we're probably going to have to fight you very soon.
I was a prototype for Merlin's latest idea.
Yeah.
Immortality. Me and Seawall, the king's loyal pawns. Used and discarded when they found a better way. When they decided to go even deeper into their madness and turn our king into a monster.
You didn't end up like... Did King Arthur know what was happening?
Even if he didn't, he should have. He was desperate to win. And desperation doesn't leave room for conscience. Every scream, every scar. Even if he didn't see it, he allowed it. That's as good as approving it.
I didn't mean those sacrifices. Why are we being forced to disagree with the king's actions here? We're being given a very specific point of view that's being forced upon us. You didn't end like Seawall.
Seawall was Merlin's first attempt. I was the last. We could say I was lucky, but to say that would take a truly macabre sense of humor, don't you think?
You pronounced macabre the American way? Man, the amount of times English voice actors are forced to use American pronunciations like Wrath instead of Roth. It's getting frustrating. It's Americanization of the language, and it's just weakening and debasing our great tongue. And yet, I'm forced to go with this fucking option. I don't want to say this. Why didn't you fight back against the man who was trying to save everybody?
Fight back? Against who? Merlin? The king? You don't fight gods when you're just a pawn on their board. You endure. You wait. And when the time comes, you either break, or you're left to clean up their mess. That's what I do. What I've always done.
What do you mean, clean up their mess?
The monsters, the weirdness, the chaos. All of it leads back to them. We're left in the ruins of their grand plans, trying to uphold their ideals, fighting for what never was. It's time to bury all these fairy tales in a well-deserved grave. And that's what I do.
You're killing the hope of the kingdom. I hope you realize that. I spoke with Arthur. He said he had to do it or humanity would be lost.
Of course he'd say that. There's always a scapegoat and a convenient excuse for men like him. But it doesn't absolve him. Not when he was the one who unleashed this madness on all of us. He wanted victory, no matter the cost. And when you want something that badly, you stop looking too closely at what's being done in your name. And, after all,
Who said we were supposed to win this war? Who said we were supposed to survive?
You're very willing to cast blame. I presume you still want something from me.
You've seen what they did. What he did. And that's not the end of the story. It's not the extent of their sins. Find the pieces of his soul. Put him back together, if that's what it takes. And then we, or I alone, if you decide to defy me, can end the cycle. Either way, we will get to his resurrection. I've seen it too many times to believe the cycle will be broken before it happens. But know this. Once he's whole, Arthur's power, his mistakes, and his madness will all return. And when that moment comes, I'll be there. Whether to stand with you or step over you. The choice is yours. Just remember that when that happens, and you stand by his side, there won't be room for both of you.
Now this is interesting, right? If he's truly immortal, there's no point in us fighting now, right? Because if I kill him, he'll presumably survive, like he did with the shipwreck. And if he kills me, I can't gather the pieces of Arthur's soul for him. If you think I'll let you decide Arthur's fate, you're wrong. I'm not going to side with him on this, not yet.
You cannot kill me, and I don't want to kill you.
Indeed.
But if you want to fight me now, I'll grant your wish. That's the least I can do.
Oh.
You'll pay for that! I'll test your mettle in combat. Prepare yourself for a true challenge.
Get whacked,
Don't
you
back down
bastard.
from a fight. Face me, and let's see who's the stronger one. I don't back down from a fight. Face me, and let's see who's the stronger one. Don't resist.
There.
All right, that's enough. You win.
Is he going to say
This
for now?
changes absolutely nothing, but I hope you at least feel better about yourself. If you want the next piece, head to Kunacht. The Menhir there is failing, and the weirdness is swallowing what's left of the village. You will need to find another artifact. The shield that was given to Palamedes by the king. He was one of the king's finest. The voice of reason amidst the madness. But it didn't save him or his legacy from what they had coming. Find the shield, and then, well, we will meet again. We'll see if your perspective changes.
We shall see. I can't interact again. Now we have memories. No level just yet. But that's okay, we got our point here. And we get to decide what to do with that. If... Now bear with me on this. If we're only going to get 2 more points, we may get more than 2, but if we are only going to get 2 more points, we have very limited options in terms of what we can do. The less damage and more damage are both very appealing. Let's just step inside a moment. Check in on the captain. I have a sneaky feeling he'll have nothing to say about any of this at all, but it would be interesting to see if he does. About the fact that we just had a sword fight in the middle of his keep. Nothing whatsoever. He's not interested, he doesn't want to know. We're going to go outside, light a campfire. Because we don't get to speak to the king here. And I am sensing our time in the region is short. Will people react to the fact that we are now a keeper? How about Dickon?
Oh!
Not a lot of reaction so far. I wonder if Orla would throw in her lot with Caradoc. He doesn't seem to be that financially gifted necessarily. He's operating from a more ideological stance, so I'm not sure she would.
Well,
Right.
off you go.
Well now. What do you remember about Merlin?
Merlin saw Avalon for what it was long before the rest of us. He told me that Tintagel wouldn't hold, not forever. That the weirdness would gnaw at our walls, at our minds, at our very bones, until nothing human remained. But he still fought to map a way forward, to carve some sense into this land. And in the end, the land swallowed him whole anyway.
How did he die?
We were losing the battle at Tuathan's mouth. Our last push before the weirdness took the field. Merlin was with us, bleeding, exhausted, but still weaving his spells. Then it came. Not a beast, not a man, not something we ever had words for. A shadow, wearing 1,000 torn banners, moving like it had no shape of its own. Merlin raised his staff, spoke a name I didn't recognize. And then he was gone. Not killed, not struck down, just gone. Like the land itself had taken him back.
You did say he was related to the Druids. You and the Lord of the Seas seemed close.
Yes, it seems we knew each other well during the war. And this proves that I sought allies beyond our own forces. And I trusted him enough to carry the knowledge of Excalibur. This must count for something.
I might have to change the episode title now. Why did you leave Excalibur at the Horns of the South?
It was supposed to be a reminder. The sword was never just steel. It was a symbol of what we stood for. Strength, justice, the will to carve a path forward. A weapon, yes, but also a promise. I wanted them to remember, to fight for those ideals, to uphold them, even when I was gone, even when there was no king left to lead them.
Let's do this. Right? Our damage output could be better, as could our durability. Once approved, changes cannot be easily undone. I suspect origin potions may not reset these. I can highlight these, but I can't click on them. Next level I think is going to be endurance. Probably exploit weakness. Or disrupting shove as it gets us closer to confidence. Right. I think I should probably end the episode here. There is much work to be done, and I'm just going to keep on playing if I don't stop myself soon. And this video is going to get larger and larger and take even longer to upload. Alright, I will leave this one here. I hope you've all enjoyed it, and we've learned more about what was going on. Most of it could have been guessed. I mean, I'd conjectured quite a bit of it already. Nothing too shocking or secret yet, but still ambiguous enough that it's going to be unclear going forwards. I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye for now, everyone, and now, apparently the Mistbearer may come after me, so I have to be cautious about going out at night. You should probably all stay indoors at night too, just in case any Mistbearers come after you.